What's up? What's up? Great to have everybody. This is WNation, your hub for all things Utah Warriors of Major League Rugby. We are live on Facebook and Twitter. Great to have you. We are on demand on a bunch of other places as well. Give us the like, share the show, follow the Utah Warriors on social media. If you have a comment, you can fire away in StreamYard right now. We'll try and get to some of those. I am Jarom Jordan. Great to have you alongside Banksy. And we don't talk about what we're going to wear for the show, but here we are, a second show in a row, wearing the same thing.
Great minds think alike, man. I mean, beauty just happens sometimes, and you got to go with it, you know?
And it's also in the eye of the beholder. Okay, we've got
Like
a loaded show.
Like that intro video clip. I mean, there's a really ruggedly handsome guy and Lance Williams in that.
Yeah, you just staring at Lance like, hey, what's up, man? Speaking of, we will chat with Lance Williams. We continue our position previews of the flankers, 6 and 7, the number 8, which is yet to be named in rugby lore. It's just number 8, the 8
It's
man.
the number 8. That's the name of the position.
The Dallas Jackals aren't playing until next year, 2022. So there's a brand new schedule out for everybody in Major League Rugby, including the Utah Warriors. We'll look at that. A new member of the team signed from Namibia, all the way in Africa. Pretty awesome. Plus, we have a preseason match to talk about. San Diego Legion, they're going to play in Vegas. What does that mean for the Utah Warriors? Home again. And Rugby ATL welcomes another team with them, which will affect the season as well. So let's get to the revamped schedule. Let's talk about it. March 20th. No, it's not the San Diego Legion now. It's at Austin. And then March 27th is home against Toronto. So this is new. This is totally different.
So when the Dallas Jackals announced that they weren't playing for this season, we just thought there would be a couple of moves. Some bye weeks might change, but an entirely relaunched schedule. And now the focus completely changes from being in San Diego to now a Gil Gronis team that is on the rise and has a lot to prove, much like the Utah Warriors do.
Yeah, absolutely. It evens out the number of teams in the league. It's 12. It's 6 and 6, Western Conference, Eastern Conference. So there's some kind of, evenness to that. But bummer to see Dallas not play. Okay, April 3rd at New England. Hopefully it's not snowy. April 10th, home to Seattle. April 17th at San Diego. Now, San Diego's playing in Vegas, so that's going to be interesting. April 24th, home to Houston.
Be great if we can get tickets, WNation. That's basically a de facto home game for us. I mean, Vegas is closer to Salt Lake City than it is to San Diego by car. So while it's great for them to be able to find a place to play with all of the COVID restrictions that are in place in California still and the uncertainty of whether they were going to be able to have fans in place, I think this is a win for Warriors Nation and being able to have basically like it's a neutral ground for us, but it's a home game.
Oh, totally. And BYU and Utah, football and basketball fans have been going to Vegas for years. So this isn't an uncommon thing, right, to go down to Vegas and watch a sporting event there. Okay, May 1st bye week, May 8th, Old Glory, D.C. at home, at L.A., Giltinis at NOLA, and then Austin at home rounds out May.
I'm really looking forward to getting into the spring. Some of these matches, we could be in snow matches as we're looking at a couple of these trips to the East Coast, just like we've had here in Utah before out at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman. But we start getting into the meat of that schedule. And really now when you look at it, there's a good chance for the Warriors to be sitting with potentially an undefeated record 6 or 7 games in with the schedule we're looking at. I mean, by the time we get into facing that San Diego team, we could be looking at a top of the table clash there in the Western Conference.
I like it. Okay, let's look at June and July to round it out. At Seattle, home to San Diego, at Rooney, Rugby United New York, at Houston, so 3 or 4 on the road, and then close it out with 2 at home. Bye week, and then July 10th, Rugby ATL, July 17th, the Giltinis. The Warriors were originally going to play the day before or July 1st, I believe, on 4th July weekend. That is off. And then after that, it's the 2 weeks in a row of the MLR playoffs, and we're bringing home some hardware after that, hopefully.
We're looking at 18 weeks of rugby. I think that middle section that you just mentioned there, as we look at the end of May and into June, is really going to be the hard yards of the season. That's when the injuries are going to start to pile up, when we're looking at weeks 12, 13, and 14. And we're going to see how deep this team really is. And if we can survive that, we're looking at a good stretch of games where we can hopefully get some tough wins on the road and be looking at closing out the season at home with back-to-back games and putting ourselves in a good playoff position.
Yeah, there's a spell of 5 on the road during 7 weeks. So that's going to be tough. But like I said, closing it out at home. Let's go. Okay, we do have a player signing, new player added, which is awesome. Cliven Lobster, a fly half from Namibia, 15 international caps. Always love that. 159 points. This guy is a bucket getter, if you will. Only 3 players ever have more points than Lobster for Namibia. So a fly half and fullback added to the team.
Namibia, a great rugby country that's on the rise. They've played in World Cups. They've made sevens appearances. This is a rugby nation, and getting a player of his caliber out of their international squad to deepen up our ranks here at the number 10 position and even at the fullback position, is an incredible asset to have a guy that can play with the ball in hand and have an asset with his boot kicking for points is going to be unbelievable to have as we get deep into the season.
Can't wait to catch up with him at some point on the show. Cliven Lobster. Okay, join us March 6th at Zions Bank Stadium for a preseason match. This came out recently with Rugby ATL. Tickets on sale starting, Monday. Last Monday, that is. On this Monday. So get ready in a couple days to get your tickets to the preseason match on March 6th. That's gonna be fun. And
I love that we're talking 30 days out from live rugby, Jarom. It's felt like it's been forever. We're 45 days out from the season, and this is what starts it all right here against Rugby ATL.
And listen, the first team, the senior team, needs to get done for the selects, because the selects, Rugby ATL rolled out some of the starters, right?
Yeah.
On that select team, there's a little payback there on March 6th, so that should be fun. All right, next piece of news. San Diego Legion, as we mentioned, are going to play all their home games in Vegas, as you mentioned. And Rugby ATL will host the Toronto Arrows this season in Georgia. We've seen this with the Blue Jays, playing, in Tampa during the baseball season. Toronto, not a spot where they want to, have people coming in. So Toronto's going to play in Atlanta. San Diego's going to go to Vegas. I'm glad we're playing. I'm not necessarily concerned about where teams are playing, but that we are playing, and that the Utah Warriors are going to host home games is going to be great as well.
I think this has got to be a full credit to the commissioner and to all the presidents and general managers of this team organizing a season like this with all of the constantly changing rules and regulations. The fact that there's games on the schedule and we're looking at going ahead right now after some of the other major sports have shown that it can be done, and making these adjustments is absolutely Herculean in its effort. I mean, just to
what did you just say? Herculean?
Herculean.
Oh, Herculean. Nice. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
It's one of Hercules' great feats, Jarom, that this is happening, okay? It's fantastic to see that they were able to make these adjustments and make these moves. I think logistically it helps a lot of teams, especially for someone like Toronto and crossing the international border and the testing restrictions and regulations. It's going to allow them to create their own bubble to play in and have a secure place for rugby fans to come and enjoy our sport.
Julie Winder is watching on Facebook. She says road trip for sure to Vegas. So fans are going to want to get down there for sure. That'll be great. Okay, season ticket deposits. Go ahead, and they're taking deposits for a priority win capacity increases right now. Season tickets sold out, which is great with current COVID restrictions. But if it opens up more, they're taking deposits. So if you want a chance to get those season tickets, you can go ahead and contact the Warriors ticket office and get those, because guess what? Hopefully it opens up. Hopefully as it gets warmer. Hopefully as the vaccine gets, to as many people as possible, we can open this up more.
Absolutely hoping to see that. And right now, obviously, the capacity is maxed for season ticket holders. You get first priority to the games, and you get your pick of the seats. You get all the other perks that go along with being a season ticket holder, and you get to be the first to get back to live rugby here in Utah.
It's pretty awesome. And you get to meet Banksy, which is just awesome. Okay, now to our position previews. We have previewed the props. We have previewed the hooker. We have previewed the locks. We are now up to 6 and 7, which are the, open side and blind side flankers, and the 8-man, as I mentioned, the number 8. It's unnamed. And, look at this great graphic by Billy Rathule. Just bringing it today. So you're looking at the, the third row there. And we're going to talk about the guys that are involved there, and then talk to Lance Williams, who's one of those players, coming up in just a moment, so hang with us. Former Hawaii Rainbow Warrior linebacker Lance Williams is one of the guys, tenured, returning from a knee injury. Bailey Wilson, South African, former USA U20 captain, is a rising star on this team and in this league. Yuri Van Vuren, South African, formerly of the Stories and the Kings, he's back. And Thomas Tuabau, former rugby league player in the UK, and on the select squad is there as well. This is a strong group as well.
This group was really deep last year in what we call the back row, because when they line up at the scrum, these are the guys on the outside and the number 8, of course, to the back of the scrum. These are the most mobile and probably some of the most skilled players on the field. These guys have more on their to-do list than just about anybody else on the field when it comes to things that they have to take care of in the middle of a rugby game. And whether you're on the blind side, which means you're on the short side of the field, is what the blind side flanker usually takes care of. So that number 6, when the scrum is, say, near the sideline, the 6 will go closest to where that sideline is, and the 7 will take the open side. So that's what the open side and blind side flanker typically mean there. And then the number 8, usually a big mobile forward. We've seen in the modern game a lot of those, Billy Vunipola types, of course, Kieran Reid from Australia, and so many others that have dominated that position over the years. One of my favorites, Zinzan Brooke, from the days gone past in the All Blacks position. Yuri kind of made that position his home there last year and really put his mark on quality play from the back of the scrum. And I really think that's his position to lead from in this forward pack. But the depth we have this year, with so many guys being able to come in and play any of those positions, and with the addition of Thomas Tuivasa as well, it's unbelievable to see just how stacked we are, that you could put any 3 guys against any 3 guys from that back row and have a quality lineup and not miss anything performance-wise across the 6, 7, and 8 positions. So whether we're talking about with the ball in hand or the open play, or whether you're talking about guys from the set piece who can get up in the air at the back of the line out and secure the ball for us. Lots of assets there.
There was so much information to take it in, I had to just write it down for a sec. So that's why I dipped out. I've got to write it down. And this really is an important piece. And you see there are times where, hey, someone gets a yellow card or whatever, and the guy's got to move a position. There's a lot of versatility among the open side and blind side flankers and the 8-man. So let's bring in our guest today, who's a guy who's played all of these positions. He's recovering from a knee injury. He should be good to go. It is Lance Williams, one of our favorite guys on the team. Lance, welcome to WNation. It's great to have you, man. And we'll bring in Lance here in a second. Former linebacker at Hawaii. He played against BYU in Provo. There he is. Lance, what's up, bro?
Yeah, always good energy, Lance.
Yes,
How
sir.
Feeling,
yes, sir.
man, after recovering from the injury, we saw you get a great run out with the Warriors select side. You looked healthy and mobile, and the recovery looks to be going really well now as we get into the first team season here, brother.
Oh, Banksy, it's been a grind, man. With all this COVID restriction and stuff, and they're closing all the gyms and stuff. So me and Tucci, we just been doing our own thing, grinding, doing rehab at Tosh in the mountain, and those guys over there doing the physical therapy. They've been doing an awesome job with me, and we just putting our head down and going to work, man. And it's been a long process, but it's been a great process as well. So it's been good. It's been good.
Lance, remind us when your knee injury happened and what it was.
Yeah. So I got hurt in San Diego when we had that preseason game in San Diego in January. And it's funny because when I got hurt, that was the same day that Kobe passed away. We had that tragic news, but rest in peace to Kobe, man. So, but that's the same day that I tore my ACL. And then when we flew back to Utah, back home, man, my knee was just like, I already kind of knew, because on that plane, it was just walking from that terminal to go to them to pick us up to go home, man. I had to go on the wheelchair. So that's the day I got injured, when we had that preseason game in San Diego, right before we had the opening game season against Atlanta. So, but got the surgery in February, and then just putting my head down and going to grind, man, going to grind town. And from February to now, it's been nothing but a blessing. It's good, bro.
Talk about having somebody, not just in a teammate, but in a friend like Alex Tucci,
yep,
who doesn't need any motivation to get in the gym whatsoever, but a guy that can push you to help you as a teammate and a friend who he's recovering from almost an identical injury.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's funny because me and him, we kind of have like the same personality, and it doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much to motivate both of us. And like when one person's going down, like right, I'll pick him up, and when I'm feeling down, he'll pick me up, man. And we just seem like and like we're a bunch of clowns, but at the same time, we know how to get work done. So in the weight room, out in the field and stuff like that, and we love to crack jokes to get with each other, just to keep us motivated, keep us happy throughout the times. But because there are times, man, like the guys that did get injured, like an ACL or a major knee injury, they know how it feels when you have those bad days and stuff like that. So it's always good to stay positive, and to have a guy like that, like Tucci, man. You can never go wrong, man.
Oh, he's one of the best, and he's been on the show. We love Alex. He's
yes,
great.
Sir.
So it would have been hard enough to just be recovering from an ACL last year if there was a regular season and life was normal.
Yeah.
What was it like trying to do this through COVID, and give us a sense of kind of the team dynamic too as you guys get ready for the season? Of you're kind of planned for 2 seasons, because last year it felt like it just paused, and we'll just resume it here.
Yeah. Well, it was a win and lose situation for me. Yeah. So like when I got hurt, and then I heard the season was getting canceled, and I was like, damn, that's kind of good for me, like it was just like, I can just like, damn, like we can, I can have time for recovery and stuff. But it was bad for my boys, you know what I mean? Because my boys, they were on a roll after that game in Seattle. Whoo-wee, you know what I mean? So I was like, damn, now I wish the season wasn't ending, you know what I mean? So like it was a win and lose situation on my part, but when it all comes to an end, man, it's all about the boys. So I was just so bummed that the boys couldn't continue to work hard and find their, like there's their what is that called? Like their magic potion, you know what I mean? Like they were just on a roll, you know what I mean? They're on a roll against Seattle, and
mojo, momentum.
Yeah, the mojo, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just to figure out, like, to even know what happens the next week, man, it's a hit and miss. So like, but it's bummed to see the boys not continue on and carrying on that momentum to the next season. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
Now we've got a chance now to see that chemistry come back. I've had a chance to play with you at Park City Haggis when you first picked up the rugby ball. So I've been lucky enough to be able to take the field with you and play some rugby. You're a completely different player with a completely different rugby IQ now. How is it bringing that experience into this forward pack with that chemistry and the things that you guys were able to put together from an X's and O's standpoint, having Sean Pittman there to be the driving force? Talk about what it's like now as we're in the preseason, getting back together with these guys and hitting the ground full steam ahead and ready for 2021.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I moved to Utah because that was the first time I ever learned how organized rugby when I moved here, 2017. Back in Hawaii, we have rugby, but it wasn't really organized rugby for me. It was always kind of like an individual kind of stuff. But when I moved here, I learned so much even from the outside clubs, like from the West Valley Lions, the Park City Haggis, the Brothers, the Gladiators. I learned so many skills and rugby IQ. And then when I was got the opportunity to play with the Warriors, man, it went skyrocket right after that, man. And I thank all those clubs that gave me the opportunity to play with those clubs, with the Lions and Haggis, and now that I have so wonderful and great coaches like Pittman and Davies, and when I know. Oh,
we're back. You got so excited.
Okay.
You muted yourself.
Man, it was crazy. Somebody
so
was calling me.
We had to contain it.
See, yeah, I know. So it was to have Pittman and Sean Davies, man. They're such good coaches, man. And then all I've been doing is being a sponge and absorbing all their skills and all the IQs that I could learn from those guys. So because they have the background experience already. So it's been a true blessing, and to have those two coaches it's unbelievable. So I thank them.
Now, you moved to Utah, you got into rugby, but you had been in Utah before because you had played for Hawaii against BYU in 2012. So we don't have to mention the score there because it wasn't good that day for the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
But there was a little known guy named Taysom Hill who made his first start in that game? Do you remember tackling one Taysom Hill?
Yes, sir. Well, at that point, I was still young. I was a special teams kind of guy. I believe that was my redshirt freshman when I came down here under Norm Chow. But yes, I remember that guy. He was he's a very, very, very great football player. So hats off to Taysom Hill, man. He's a true grinder as well. So, but I got my opportunity to go in the fourth quarter and stuff. So I got my feet dirty and my hands dirty too as well in the fourth quarter. But other than that, it's been good. It's always good to play against BYU and the rivals. Yeah.
Look, you're always such a high energy guy. It's always great to see you on and off the pitch, brother. It's
Yes,
been
sir.
great to see your development on the rugby field and the way that you keep continuing to elevate your game to higher and higher levels every year. I'm really excited to see what 2021 has for not just you personally and professionally, but for this team as well, because you do so many things, not just on the field, but off the field to help our community, that it's an absolute blessing to have a guy like you around, bro.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Banksy.
And for those, we talk about it a lot because it's awesome. But tell people about what you do off the field. What's your job?
So everybody probably knows, but I'm a preschool teacher with special needs kids. I put my time and effort in when I'm not on the rugby pitch. I'm always trying to give back to those that are in need. And I'm fortunate in life that they can have this opportunity to play or even live life even past high school. Eventually, even past high school. But it's been a true blessing. I'm so glad that God gave me this heart to care for these kids and the kids that are in need. And unfortunately, in life, that they were born like this. But it's all good. That's why we have people like us in this world to stay right beside them. Stay right behind them and always walking through the difficult times by their side and stuff like that. So it's always good. Hopefully with this COVID restriction goes away, I'm always willing to bring my kids and some of them to come watch the game. Unfortunately, last year we couldn't do that because the season ending, but it's all good. So probably we'll see. Hopefully this vaccine goes out and hopefully we can get a maximum amount of numbers here of our fans. So can bring my kids. You guys can meet them too as well. So it'll be a true blessing. It'll be very loving in my heart to get to you guys, Warrior Nation, Dub Nation, to meet my kids as well.
Love to be able to, brother. Thank you for the invitation, man. Anytime.
Yes, sir.
Well, awesome, Lance. This has been great to talk about the forwards, talk about you, talk about Taysom Hill, talk about they are fantastic. So we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining Dub Nation.
Yes, sir. Thanks, brothers. You guys take care.
Okay, thanks, Lance. It's Lance Williams, who plays forward. He's a flanker. He can play a little number 8. I'm glad to see that knee's recovering well and that we're going to see Lance this year because he's been a staple of this team all 4 years.
He was really green the first Warrior season when it came out, and you could tell he made some incredibly athletic plays and some really great tackles that were attributed to his physicality. But a lot of those plays he had to make simply because he was out of position. And that rugby IQ now we've seen develop just exponentially year over year. And he's turned into a really well-rounded rugby player who's been able to take care of the ball better, who's better on defense, who finds himself making good plays at the set pieces. And really a guy that can play that's probably more comfortable at the 6 position, at the blindside position, but can play the 7 as well, depending on how the game plays out for him.
Fantastic. Looking forward to Lance and all those forwards getting going here. On our next show, we'll start to get into the backs. So that'll be fun. We'll talk a little scrum half, a little fly half. That'll be great. We want to mention, hey, 20% off of all of the 2020 merch on therugbyshop.com. You can go to that, 20% off all of the 2020 gear. Now, listen, you want the 2021 gear, but the 2020 gear is good too, and you got a nice discount there, so go ahead and grab that. Well, Banksy, that'll do it for us. Previewing a lot more to talk about. I thought we were just going to preview, flankers and 8-man, but here we are talking about Dallas Jackals, new schedule, San Diego and Vegas, Toronto playing in Atlanta, talking to Lance Williams. There's always something.
It seems like you never know with this season what's going to come around the corner. The Dallas thing surprised a lot of people. The Toronto playing in Atlanta kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, buckle up. It's 2021. Anything can happen in Major League Rugby, but we're here for the Warriors, man. Up the Dubs. Let's go.
Yep, and I forgot to mention Clive and Lobster signed as well. So yeah, just tons and tons of stuff going on. Okay, like and share this episode of WNation on Facebook. Reminder to follow the Utah Warriors on social media. For Lance Williams and Billy the producer and Banksy, I'm Jarom Jordan. Get ready for Saturday, March 6th as well. That's coming up in about a month. Go Warriors.